one on.
I don't know, but. Oh, shit! Oh, they shot! What the fuck?
So some of you may know, some of you might not know, because I haven't had this page for 2 years. But on this day 2 years ago, I worked at Walmart as an asset protection associate, catching people stealing. Before I tell you this story, I didn't heard enough of why was you stopping him? You shouldn't use fuck Walmart shit, or why you even tried to save the police and all that. Like, if somebody try to take your gun from you, I'd try to save you too. You know, so it was a regular day. You know, I watched the dude. I stopped him. I'm like, how you doing? I'm tired. Can I see your receipt? He gave it to me. And he knew what time it was, but he kept saying he couldn't go to jail. And I'm reassuring him, like, you're not even finna get charged for this. Like, this is, like, literally $4. You know what I'm saying? So he kept saying he can't go back to jail. So when the officer that I work with, you know what I'm saying, walked up, dude kept saying it. He kept saying he can't go back to jail. So the deputy that was working with me that day, he was telling him to come on, he wouldn't come. So he tried to cuff him. And when he tried to cuff him, dude tried to break loose. So they broke through the Walmart door and they fell on the ground. So soon as they hit the ground, like, stuff happened so fast. Soon as they hit the ground, dude automatically started reaching for the police gun. I jumped down there and I wrestled him for that gun. And it was only like 1 minute and 30 seconds, but it felt like 10 minutes. It felt like every bit of 10 minutes, okay? And I'm wrestling him for it. Thank God for the man with the yellow hat on, the civilian that came and tried to help me, you know, help the officer. He was clawing the man's eyes, punching him in the head and everything. That's how I knew the man had to been on something, because it was too much, you know. So at one point in the tussle, me and him, like, I'm literally laying under both of them, wrestling for the police gun. So somehow the police must have not had it locked in the holster. So I'm literally using every bit of strength in me to try to pry this gun out this man's hands before he take it out this holster. And during that time, my hand slipped. I looked back because they had an older man walk up on us. So when I looked back and my hand slipped, you could hear and you could see the man run away. That's when the gun shot through the holster. Everybody like, there's no way it shot through the holster. He lifted up a little bit out the holster and shot. I just knew I was gone, you know. And after that shot, I said, Lord, please don't let me die at Walmart. Mama, please protect me from the other side. Please let this be over. As soon as I said that, he left. He got up and took off running. And the most traumatic part about the whole situation is not even me and him on the ground for the gun. It's the fact that Walmart, the company that I had worked for at the time, it was like 5 years, almost 6 years. They made it seem like, oh, you're a hero. We so proud of you. And then when I came back to work after 2 days, I left that day, they made me use my PTO for that time. They made me use my PTO for any other day I needed to clear my head. And they told me they would pay for me 1 crisis counseling session. And the rest I have to pay for myself. Then to top that off, my manager called me to the back probably 4 days after it had happened. And I'm back there in the same environment that you know, I almost lost my life in. And told me that she had to write me up for the incident. So I was wrote up. And them writing me up, it hurt me to my heart. Like, from that day on, like, I hadn't been happy at Walmart. Like, I hadn't been happy. I was so depressed. And simply because, and PTSD is real, because even months after that, a year after that, I wouldn't be able to stop nobody, you know, because I'm on edge. I can't have my gun here. And I just had to wrestle a grown man for the police gun, okay? So it's kind of just a fucked up situation all around the board. I just thank God I'm here 2 years later to talk about the situation. I'm happy that God put me in the situation, because if he wouldn't have and it was anybody else, everybody said that the officer would have got shot. It would have been dude would have got to shooting at everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I wrestled him because he would have shot me too. You know, so it just, and I hadn't posted the video or talked about my situation with the fear of Walmart, you know, firing me because y'all already wrote me up. And the reason they wrote me up is because when you stop people, you have 5 elements or whatever that they tell you to get. The 5th element is to get off of the camera and watch them from the sales floor. I didn't have enough coverage to do that, okay? So I watched him from the camera the whole time, and I never lost sight of him. Never. The whole time I watched him. They wrote me up for policy violations, saying that I didn't watch him from the sales floor that last split second. I almost died protecting the assets of Walmart, and you write me up because I watched him from the camera that you placed in my position to watch him from. And we weren't aware of the policy change. So apparently in 2018, Walmart changed the policy stating that. So it wasn't the fact that you had to watch them from the floor. So to my knowledge, I could have watched them the whole time from the camera because that's what I had been doing. But they found a way to say they changed the policy and did all that. But just by all that, I guess, being a liability, I don't know what the case may be, but I'm still battling every day with PTSD. My nerves are bad. I have real bad anxiety. I'm on prescription medicines. I have hypertension, high blood pressure. And on top of all of that, you know what I'm saying? I'm still grieving the loss of my son 7 years ago. Still grieving the loss of my mama 2 years ago. You know, it's just a whole lot on me. And I just had to share my testimony on the 2-year anniversary. So, at the end of this clip is the video. The video of us. So, the man in the yellow hat, again, is the civilian. So, as you can see, the police arm to the left, and the dude is under him trying to take the gun. So, not a man with the yellow hat. Like, he's literally pulling the man hair. He pulling his eyes. I saw it, like, it was, when I say traumatic, I done been in so many situations in the streets to where, you know what I'm saying, I never even felt this type of, you know, it's just, and see, as you can see, the man take off running because the gun, he was like, I'm not finna put up with this. And I'm still wrestling him for the gun. Because I know that if I let go, then everybody out here gonna die. Everybody gonna die. Lord, I'm coming to you right now. I'm coming to you right now. As a sinner.